It's Thursday morning and we've just come to this job at Cudworth, and I thought I'd let you know why you should always have a damp and timber report done before you sell your property. Now, story what we've got with this property is the lady in question is selling it, and we did some damp work around about 10 years ago. We did some walls in kitchen. We only did like certain ones that were wet at the time. That's all she could afford. And I think about 4 or 5 years later, she asked us to come back and price up to do some more work. Unfortunately, I think we might have been a bit dearer than Joe Blogg's jobbing builder down the road. And she decided not to have us. Now, she was selling property, and she needed a damp and timber report done. The 2 week off selling it, so we came and did a report, and for some reason, certain walls that ain't property that are damp, which are ones that we've not done, ones that Joe Blogg's jobbing builder did. And at first glance, it looked, there's no visible signs of damp. So I came along, we tested it with me to test its skirting boards, and skirting boards were over 20% wood moisture equivalent. Wood moisture content. And I think that it were up to about 30 in places. But there were still no visible signs of damp apart from behind this cupboard here, which is where electric box was. She's got a pacifier vent in. We fitted that years ago, and someone's plastered it in. But what they've done is, I don't know how, but plaster's gone actually inside vent. But that's not main cause. This area up to here were damp, and when we've took skirting off, if you can see it, when we took skirting off, you can see that skirting, that bead at bottom, you see, actually just rotted, and it's come off. Now there's no damp course been put in this wall. There's old drill holes from over 20 years ago that's been drilled and injected into brick, but there's been no damp course put in over the last few years, and there's a gap in floor as well. So there's obviously some issues going off there, and it's only when we took skirting off that I can see that is it. Moisture meter were picking up damp, and we put down that needed redoing up to there. Now, chimney breast had high moisture readings on left hand side and right hand side, and when I took skirting off, that went into chimney breast there. But if you look on right hand side, the skirting's damp, and that will picking up moisture readings. So when you get high moisture, the reason why we test skirting, the top of the skirting is if it's more than 20% wood moisture content on your skirting, we know that it's touching something that's wet, and when we took it off, that's what we've seen. And then in that corner, you've got you can see there's some salts on brick. Now, when I did my report, what I said to them was that if they put a render on, it should have been a waterproof system, not a damp-proof system. And it looks like they've got a render on. Whether he's mixed it properly, I don't know, but there were no visible signs of damp, but it's just starting to come through all dampness, and that's because there's no damp-proof membrane in bottom of chimney breast, and it's been filled in over years with rubble or whatever. That moisture will come up, and then it comes laterally. We call it lateral moisture because it's coming laterally, basically. Yeah, it's coming out of the thing. So what you need a waterproof system. So I'm on site to adjust it. So we'll hack off and have a look at it and see what we can get on, what type of waterproof system we can get on. So that's on that side, and that's on that side. This is just where she's took wallpaper off, so there are no visible signs. But when I used search mode on the moisture meter, it takes a reading through masonry, and you can tell that it's wet at back. So I sort of commented on that it could, in future, it could become damp. It could be next month. It could be 10 years time. But we know it's damp at back, and we know that there's no waterproof system on. So at some point it can migrate to the surface. So one of the things when we took carpet back as well, if you look. Can you see that it looks wet? You've got like some kind of concrete hearth, and then it looks wet just round where what they call it is. Just round where timbers is. Now James, as dad, is a carpet fitter, my apprentice. And he says, because I said, oh, it's wet straight away. And he went, oh no, he says, it'll be spray glue. And when we've had a look at it, it's spray glue. So it gives it appearance of wetness. So I've learnt something today, courtesy of James and James's stepdad. This picked up as being damp. So there's a couple of things going off down here. One, you've got a hole in floor. You've got a brick missing here. There's an air brick at back of that, so you've got cold air coming up. It's created a cold spot. Condensation's been forming, and then black mould. But that's original damp mounting. So damp. That's the original electric mounting. This here, and at back of that is original plaster, and it's bridging. So they've skimmed up to it. And it's still wet at back of there. Plastered all the way to the floor in places, which is making it wet. And again, we don't know what mix that they've used for this render. Don't know whether they've used a 3-in-1, 4-in-1, what additive they've put in, whether additive's been mixed properly according to what's on the instructions that's on carton. It's normally 1 part additive to 24 parts water, but in 80s when I first started, builder used to say, here, just tip a bit in, you know what I mean, there were no measuring it, like just tip a bit in, there'll be enough there, don't put too much in because it's expensive. That's what you get. It has to be mixed correctly to work. So I'll just take in this bit in here. And house is absolutely spotless. It's lovely. It's an absolutely lovely house. So we're having to make sure everything's sheeted up. We have to make sure there's less dust as we can. We do on most jobs, on all jobs, most jobs. But this especially. And this was one of the areas that didn't get done. Back of here. So this is going to be plastered, hacked off and plastered. And if you look, this is a solid floor, and there's some kind of dust down at bottom there. I don't know what it is. I'm going to hack it off and have a look. Could be ants, I don't know. I'm going to whip that skirting off, could be ants once we get in there from summer. That's been done, that's dry, that's been done. This bit ant, that what bit what we're left on, and this bit at bottom here, I can tell just by looking at it, that's Carlite bonding, and that's all the way to the floor. Now Carlite, any gypsum plasters, they're not very good with salts. They react with salts, so I can tell straight away what issue is with that. And if there were a damp proof course that had been drilled and injected in, it's bridging it because it's going down past it. So so that's one of the issues here. So we're going to hack this off and then round corner, drill and inject it, and job will be a good one. So I just thought I'd let you know about properties that that don't have damp and timber reports. This lady who owns property, she's paid for the report. We've picked up on a few things, and she's paying for this work done before she sells it to the other lady because she's got a conscience. There's a lot of people who don't have damp and timber reports done, and this had never been picked up because there were no visible signs of damp. You couldn't see any apart from if you opened electric box and you saw a bit of black mould. No signs whatsoever. Meters picked it up. We interpreted readings that we got, and then when we've come to start it, once we've whipped skirting off, you can see it just starting. So if the exchanging contracts in 2 weeks, if that lady would have moved the stuff in, 6 months down the line, these walls might have started going damp, you know what I mean? It had started creeping up above skirting. She'd have started getting issues, and all the payments, the costings would have been on her head, and it would have been extra money she's got to pay out, not just for the damp work, for decorating and carpets and things like that. So always get a pre-purchase damp and timber report. They might appear expensive when you first get the price for them, but in the long run they might save you thousands upon thousands of pounds. So tip for today, always get a pre-purchase damp and timber report done for your own peace of mind by somebody that knows what they're doing. Not just me, I can't go all over the country, but make sure that they're qualified, and that they're in PCA, that they've got a body above them, that, you know, if you do have a dispute, or if you have any questions, you can go to somebody above them. A lot of jobbing builders you can't, you know what I mean? The only thing you can do is take them to court, which is going to cost you a lot of money. With us, we're in PCA. You phone PCA up if you've got any, if you're disgruntled or whatever, and they do a mediation service. So they'll provide a mediation service between them and the contractor that's done it if they're in PCA. And 9 times out of 10, we'll go back and sort it out. And if it's our fault. If it's not, then they'll provide an expert opinion that's independent. So happy Thursday, and please subscribe. And if you're happy with the video, please comment. See you later.